you want, cause you didn't know that. It's the Shabach show. You know how it goes. If you don't know, now you're gonna know, cause you tune in to the only Shabach show. It's what you came from. Education and entertainment all just for you. It's the Shabach show. Why you stuck on 25? We reporting live from the fofo just to let you know that it's the Shabach show. It's the Shabach show. It's the Shabach show. You want, cause you didn't know that. It's the Shabach show. You know how it goes. If you don't know, now you're gonna know, cause you tune in to the only Shabach show. It's what you came from. Education and entertainment all just for you. It's the Shabach show. Why you stuck on 25? We reporting live from the fofo just to let you know that it's the Shabach show. It's the Shabach show. It's the Shabach show. You want, cause you didn't know that. It's the Shabach show. You know how it goes. If you don't know, now you're gonna know, cause you tune in to the only Shabach show. It's what you came from. Education and entertainment all just for you. It's the Shabach show. Why you stuck on 25? We reporting live from the fofo just to let you know that it's the Shabach show. You want, cause you didn't know that. It's the Shabach show. You know how it goes. If you don't know, now you're gonna know, cause you tune in to the only Shabach show. It's what you came from. Education and entertainment all just for you. It's the Shabach show. Why you stuck on 25? We reporting live from the fofo just to let you know that it's the Shabach show.
Yep. Okay. It's the D Shabach show, and you're tuned in to the one and only D Shabach. All right, so I feel a little bit better. I feel a little bit good. I was supposed to start probably about 40 minutes ago. Had some technical difficulties, but we are on. We are live. We are popping. We're going. What's up, TikTok? What's up, Twitch? What's up, YouTube? Yeah. We are going to be here. I'm going to be here every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday at 4 p.m. 4 to 5 p.m. It is an hour show. As you can see, the time is going down, so therefore you know how long you're tuned in for. For those of y'all who are watching live, I appreciate y'all for watching. For those of y'all who are watching on the, I guess the restream, I appreciate y'all for tuning back in. And if you're looking at the clips, thank you. We need all the support, all the love, all of everything. This is, at the moment, a one-man operation. I will be bringing in co-hosts over time to add to the dialogue, to the conversation, but it is the D Shabach show, coming straight out of the 404. So I'm feeling good. I am behind schedule. I have an event, so I don't know if any of y'all who are watching live are coming. I have an event that I am hosting where we are bowling at Atlantic Station's Lucky Strike tonight from 7 to 10 p.m. So yeah, so it's from 25-year-olds to 35-year-olds is the group. Now, granted, I am going to be doing more events for other demographic, for other age ranges. I know someone had requested in the comments on one of the posts that they wanted events for 18 to, I guess, 21. So I'll probably do like an 18 to 24-year-old events. And then the seniors. I didn't mean like that. The mature in heart, the older folks, the mature, right, the seasoned, they are requesting for events as well. So I would definitely be partnering with some of my older people to help host events for them here in Atlanta in the 404. But yeah, so I'm a little stressed, a little pressed, but I'm pushing and I'm moving on. You know, it is a little overwhelming when you're having to handle all of your emotions and everything else on top of that. So yeah, so I feel good. I'm going to the fair. The Atlanta Fair has came into town. There's the Atlanta Fair and then there's the Georgia State Fair. So the Atlanta Fair, that's kind of ghetto fair, you know. It's a little ghetto, it's a little hood. I know one time I went before with some friends. It was probably about 2-3 years ago. And there was a shooting. We ducking and dodging and everything. I'm like, oh Lord, hold on. It was crazy. And it was shooting going on in the fair, and then right outside the fair on the interstate, you can see like it's like a bridge. There was an accident that happened because I guess someone was trying to see what was going on at the fair. It was crazy. So I realized that it's best for me to go during the daytime. Because during the daytime, we're trying not to call them this, but the young black kids, the YNs, they were just doing too much. They're being teenage, because see, that's the issue with the YNs. They have the maturity level of a kid, of a teenager, but they're trying to act grown, right? We're having the pew-pews and trying to do stuff, and I'm like, stay in your place, okay? Graduate middle school and high school, okay, and then go to college or go to trade school or do something. But that's one of the reasons why we have to actually help them. We complain about them a lot, but we actually don't do things to actually help them, to give them things to do, right? Now, I know people have said there's a mixture of when these teenagers are taking over different parts of town, whether I think like 2 weekends ago it was Cumberland Mall, or if they take over the State Fair, the Atlanta Fair. People are saying they don't have things to do. There are things for them to do, is really that they just don't want to do those things. And so if we are able to talk to them, engage with them, to figure out what do they want to do, so therefore we're able to meet their needs and not just try to give them something to do. But that is definitely something that I want to do. So I'm going to be partnering with some people to create some programs. But you have the corporate programs that I'll be doing in school, but then we got to do some just regular community fun activities for them to come to, right? Like we host a water balloon fight in the park one day, and we actually do the permits and what we need to do and etc. But anyway, let's move on to the topic of the day. For the next episode, I would definitely be putting the topics like at the bottom right here, so y'all are able to see them, what is going on as you're tuning in and etc. But man, this is a one-man show. So our topic of the day is actually going to come via a video. I wish I had this stuff prepared, but I'm telling you, man, it's been so many just technical difficulties. Okay, all right, well, y'all can see it there. Let me see. Can I take this off? Yep. Okay. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. All right, boom. All right, perfect. So y'all should be able to see that. And then me. Yep, perfect. All right, so this video I saw on Instagram, and I know I have said this on my own before. So the topic of the day is, what does physical touch mean to men? Oftentimes people assume that when men are saying physical touch, that, oh, y'all are just horny men who can't control yourselves, and you just want a woman to just touch you all the time. And no, for most men, it's not. It's a little bit more complicated. Is sex involved? Yes, but it's a lot more nuanced. So let's take a look at what this creator said. Hopefully y'all be able to hear it.
Say that their love language is physical touch, and people hear that and then immediately think sex. But that's not it. Imagine being hugged and held since you were a child, and then around a certain age it just stops. And we only really get embraced when we accomplish something. So when physical touch finally shows up, it's intense, because it reminds us that not only do we exist in the world, we matter. That's how much shit we deal with. And I'm sure there's gonna be a woman in the comments talking about, well, whose fault is that? Shut up. We have emotions, we have feelings, we get insecure, we have fears. We living in the same world as you. So next time you hear a man say that his love language is physical touch, think about why. Stay dangerous. A lot of men say that their love.
So yeah, so the guy was pretty much explaining, what's his name? Piff Marty. I've seen some of his content before. Piff Marty, Marti. Take a look at some of his content. He has some good content. Actually, I need to go ahead and let me click that follow button right there, because he has some pretty good content that I've seen of his. Okay, all right, hold on. All right, there we go. So what does physical touch mean to men? I wanted to take some more notes on this, but I was like, I'm gonna just freestyle for this particular topic. And I would love for y'all to chime in, tell me what's up, tell me what's on your mind. But I can only speak for myself, okay? I got about 16 minutes to speak by myself. Physical touch for me looked like when I was a kid, since I can remember, I would get love from both of my parents. Both of my parents were affectionate, loved on me, even to a point where sometimes I felt like it was too much. But obviously, it's never too much from your parents. And growing up, it was all love, and from strangers, right? From strangers, they would see me. Oh my gosh, he's so adorable. He's so cute. Oh, if he was only older. Oh, if I was only younger, whatever, right? You get all these compliments where I'm so adorable, right? But you get older, and then you get slapped in the face with all of the issues that society has had before you ever were born. So you are born right into the fact that men are monsters. You are born right into the fact that as a black young male, you are perceived as a full-grown adult who is going to do pew-pewing and criminal activity. Even your intimate family, your close family members, are now putting responsibilities on you, not of your appropriate age of a tween or a little kid or a teenager, but now they're telling you you are a man now, so you have responsibilities of a man. What does that mean? I now have to learn how to change the tire on a car. and I'm not even a teenager fully yet. I'm now having to learn the fact that I got to stand on the outside of the sidewalk to protect the woman. I'm not even a teenager yet. And there's a lot of things, and these are just little things that society and you may be like, well, of course, duh, that's what you're supposed to do. But I'm like, no, we're kids. So young boys don't get the opportunity to really enjoy their adolescence, because at some age, right? For some, it's as young as 5. For others, it's as old as 9, 8 or 9. For me, it was probably about around that age where you start having the realistic conversations with your family members and people and society of this is what you're supposed to do as a man. A man is supposed to be a provider. He's supposed to be a protector. And I'm like, I'm not a man yet. I'm nowhere near 18 yet. And I'm being told what I should and should not be doing as my gender. And a lot of men are faced with this harsh reality that, oh, as a man, I'm supposed to put all of, as a male, because I'm not a man yet, but as a male, I'm supposed to push all of these emotions down. I'm supposed to suppress all of this kid stuff so I can be a man, right? Even when your dad is having to change the tire, he's like, you gonna be out here with me. You gonna hold the splash light, right? Because now I can no longer be a little kid because I gotta be taught how to be a man. And so then, when women come into the picture, right? When girls come into the picture, you're interested in this girl in middle school or high school. Now you are told that as a male, you have to provide. What you mean? I ain't got no money. I'm 12, I'm 13, I'm 14. Yeah. Well, if you want to get her to go to prom, if you want to do this, it's going to take money. You got to take her on dates. You got to go to the movies. You got to go to the mall. You got to do this. You got to do that. If you want to impress her. And I'm not even a man yet. I'm not even legally able to have a job yet. I got to mow lawns. I was having a mow lawn when I was like 12 years old to get money. I can't even legally get money. And I'm being told that I got to spend money all because I'm a male, right? Then you get older. Now you are probably 17 and 18 and somewhere between 15 to 18. You're starting to have to take on male man type of responsibilities, right? You're having to be a little bit more adult in the household. One of the biggest things that we're constantly told when you're that age is you are the man of the house now. When dad is gone, you're the man of the house. For other guys who didn't have a dad in the household, you are the man of the house regardless. So where do these young males have the opportunity to be adolescents? Right? Yeah, and now peep where I'm going here. Because what's going on with all of that is lack of physical touch. Your mom isn't hugging you and kissing you as much as she used to. Even if she is still trying to, you're fighting against wanting the affection of your mom versus, well, I'm a male, I'm a man, so I'm not supposed to desire the affection and the love of my mom. It looks like the men in your life don't know how to hug you. The most hug that you get is a dap, come in for it, and that's it. When was the last time that you actually fully embraced as a man, as a young male? When was the last time you fully embraced your father, your uncles, your male cousins, your male mentors, right? But guess who is willing to embrace you? Women. Women are willing to hug you, give you all that good affection, touch you, make you feel good. And then the part that we have that forgot about all of this is sexuality. So men as a whole are constantly fighting the allegations on, am I gay or not? Am I straight? Am I heterosexual? Am I homosexual? What am I? So then society is automatically, you're a straight male, and this is what straight males don't do, and this is what straight males do. Hopefully everybody do. But society is constantly telling you that if you're going to be a straight male, this is what it looks like to be a straight male. And what does that look like? You don't hug another male like that. You don't do this. You don't do that. You don't do these things with other men. You see where I'm going? So the only people that you can really get a full hug from, the only people that you can really allow to caress your body, right? And I don't mean in a sexual way. I mean in that way when you are going through it and you're crying and breaking down, and that mom figure, that womanly figure, that nurture figure just rubs your arm and just makes you feel good and makes you feel seen. Have you ever dealt with something and then a woman, it could be your own mother, your own sister, or a random woman say, "Are you okay?" you was good. A man, then all that woman, all she had to say was, "Are you okay?" Now you're just bawling out crying, right? Because this is what it looks like to be a male who is still yet a boy, and you're trying to figure this out. So then what happens? What is happening here? From the age of about 9 years old to 18, right? When 18 is when you actually become a male. Right, you become not a male. It's when you become a man. You are legally an adult now. These years, everything is being suppressed. What is being suppressed? Your emotions, right? You're taught in sports. It's all right. Wipe it off, dust it off, right? You hurt. You're supposed to just keep going, right? So what happens with this? What are we doing? What are we teaching the young people? What are we teaching the young males? That you have to suppress all of the human nature to just be a man. Where am I going with this? So physical touch from men is alleviated out of our lives somewhere in those tween ages, right? Because as much as we desire our moms or the older women in our life, as much as we desire their affection, we're told that we shouldn't desire it that much if we are a man. And depending on how the men in your life raise you, depend on how healthy or not healthy, or I should say on a scale of unhealthy, because it's all unhealthy, on a scale of unhealthy, how unhealthy did they teach you, right? Some older men may have taught you that, oh, you're a man, you're a male, so you're not supposed to have any affection from the women in your life. And others may say, well, yeah, you can have moments where you hug your mom or whatever, but you're still a man, so you're supposed to protect, you're supposed to do this. So when do men get physical touch? With all of that, you tell me, when do men get physical touch? Oh, in sex. So when men are only able to get physical touch in sex, what do you think that does to the men's psyche, right? It creates the monsters that men who are just willing to who are willing to just grape. Men who are willing to just take whatever they want from women. Because if you were taught probably on the most unhealthy terms, you don't know what it actually means to get what you want. So you're told that you're supposed to take it, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. And then if you're taught probably on the healthiest that it could be in that unhealthy realm, you're taught that, well, you're not supposed to desire to be, you're not supposed to be clingy, you're not supposed to desire those feminine things, right? The only way that you can get affection is through sex. So then we're trying to figure out, why is it that men just want physical touch? Why is it that men just want physical touch? Because physical touch is something that we all need on a human level. But males are only able to get it during sex. Which is why we have to rewrite this whole system, right? This whole system has to be rewritten. Where does it start? In your adolescence. It starts with realizing young boys can be taught the principles on how to be a male, how to be a man, while also still being able to be a kid. No, you are not the man of the household until it is your house that you are protecting, that you created, right? Dad should be in the household protecting. I'm sweating. Dad should be in the household protecting. Uncle should be in the household protecting. Not little Johnny. Little Johnny don't know what to do. So now little Johnny, it feels like he has to be this daily hugs and handshakes. Yep. Now, here's the thing. Daily hugs, yes, men should get. But all we do is handshakes, right? Women at least get hugs, right? But do men get hugs? Not really. I wouldn't consider that a hug, right? And then there's only probably about a handful of women, if that, depending on how many sisters you have and what was your relationship with your sister, how many sisters, what was the relationship with your aunts, how many aunts do you have, and is your mom alive, is she around, is she in the same state, right? There's only a handful of women that you actually are able to get those affectionate things from, but are they even in your life to give it to you, right? Because women are constantly on the defense because you don't know who is the safe guy and who's not. And men are constantly just seeking validation from women. So now we're just in this perplexed situation that no one knows how to actually give the answer. And the answer is deconstructing the whole system. Women love to blame it on patriarchy and that men created this system. And men are like, well, this system is bigger than me. I didn't create the system. Shabach Gitron did not create this system. So why do I have to be the sole one to deconstruct it? I need help. And we honestly, quite frankly, need help from women as well. It's not just a man thing that, it's just men's responsibility to create safe places. It's also women have a role to play into it. And we can get into that on another day, because that's a whole nother conversation in itself. How do you create safe places for men as a woman? But a lot of men don't have the opportunity to get physical touch at all. Society sees them as something dangerous. So then what men have learned is that, well, the only way I'm able to get physical touch is through sex. So let me now manipulate. Let me now figure out how I can get women to want to have sex with me. Because most women don't feel comfortable just giving you a hug. Right? I love it that we've been doing those TikTok skits. I probably just need a hug, but I'm on vacation. I probably just need a hug, but I'm doing this. I bought a new car, bought a new house, right? Most of us just need affection. We just need hugs. We just need love, which is why I'm a big advocate for relationships. I don't believe that we are meant to be single, right? This whole idea that, oh, I'm single. No. We are meant to have a significant other who's going to love us, hug us, and give us physical affection every day. And I'm not talking about just sex, because that's the other thing. Men don't realize that there is physical touch outside of sex, because a lot of those other physical touches that you used to get when you was a kid, you don't get anymore. You're considered sassy or zesty even for longing for it, right? So the only physical touch that men are able to get, and still get demonized for it, but it's like, you know what? If this is all I know I can do, versus the hug, the someone, you said the handshake, but it's like, handshake is okay, that's cool, that's business. I need hug, I need affection, I need to rub elbows, right? We need to have actual affection. But how do you do that? And that is one of the things that I'm trying to do with some of the programs and some of the events that I'm trying to curate, is create places and spaces for humans to actually be human. Because at the end of the day, men and women are on the same playing field when it comes to a lot of these things. Both men and women want affection. And quite frankly, men and women probably want affection equally. It's just that the way that we go about it is differently, which is why, right, you get into a relationship, you have to learn, how does my partner like physical touch? Because everyone likes physical touch. No matter how much we like to say that no, everyone doesn't. No, everyone does. It just looks differently. For one person, they're like, hey, I just like to feel your arm next to my arm, right? We're sitting close together. Another person's like, I want to fully cuddle. Another person is like, hey, I enjoy physical touch by when we're talking and you just, you tap me every now and then, right? Another person's physical touch is full intimacy, right, with your partner. Whatever it may be and whatever it may look like, are we trying to create spaces for people to be human? And that's what I think that we are missing in our day and age. Third spaces are so expensive, right? Like I said, I'm doing the event tonight, and it's $26. Now, granted, $26 for 2 hours of unlimited bowling, sure, that's cool. But what about when you broke? What about when you only got $26 to get you to and from work? You only got $26 to just feed your mouth, right? So third places are becoming expensive. It costs to get physical touch, right? Everything that makes us a human comes with a cost. It comes with a risk. So I'm saying all of this is that a lot of times we're on the surface level with these conversations of men and physical touch. Oh, all men just want sex. No, all men want affection, but most men only know to get physical touch through sex. Most men are not creeps. Most men are just awkward, and it comes whatever that action, it comes across as creepy. Should they be taught that? Yes, we need constant guidance, but it's not that man is evil. He's just having to navigate it. That's why sometimes you will see a man or young male is probably wilding out and doing these crazy things when he's in his teenager years or his 20s, but by the time he may get his 30s and 40s, he's done mellowed out, because he's learning as he's going along, right? He's learning that, okay, you know what? This is what's right and this is what's wrong. But I digress. Let's move on to the next segment. That is hilarious. I saw this video, and with being a single man now, I'm like, oh, yeah. Well, that's a reality now. I guess we gotta face. Let's take a look at this.
Before we go,
Yeah.
not trying to be your business.
Mm-hmm.
Question: There's a couple condoms in here.
Oh, yeah, that's from earlier.
When you say earlier, did you mean like last week as well?
No, like just before you got here.
Oh, okay. So you did it right before I got here with somebody when we were done. Okay.
I mean, you're single, right? You're outside, I'm outside.
I'm outside, but there's like a play area that's safe. I right before I got here.
I mean, I took a shower. What do you...
Okay. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go now. I don't think this is my type of. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Bit of an overshare.
It's a lot.
It's cool when they do it. Problem when I do it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you.
Some shit.
So that I thought that was funny, because I'm like, that's a reality. That is a reality I have to face. And if you follow my TikTok and Instagram, you saw I posted a story that kind of was a little story time that was kind of similar to that, where I'm like, dude, hold on, we were just. And then I love this comment. This comment says, somebody cracked without taking her on a date, and now here you are, come to spend your money on her for nothing in return. Also, she can see herself being with you, so she don't want to be intimate with you too fast. Oh my God. I'm telling you, like, that irritated me so much. Hold on, because I'm like, really? Hold on, women do that? So you're saying me, oh my gosh, I got a chance because she keeps rejecting my sexual advances? Jesus. And so I'm like, do I seriously want to think about the fact that before I came over, you probably had another man in the space? It could have been yesterday, last night, right before I came. I'm like, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right, here's another video. Okay, man. See, I had this stuff already pulled up, and then technical difficulties. That's all I'm gonna say. Technical difficulties. All right, where is that? All right, here we go.
You telling me I gotta
Boom, boom.
be financially stable to date broke women? And they come pre-fucked?
Listen, this is what I've been saying. Hoflation is out of hand these days. It gets even worse. Sometimes they come with another man's kids. Unbelievable.
You telling me I gotta be financially stable to date broke women? And they come pre-fucked?
I'm sorry. I just found that to be funny, because I'm like, yeah. My situation, I was in a relationship, a high school sweetheart-ish type situation. And we were on and off for about 7 years. And it was good because you kind of felt like a closeness, because it's like, oh, you haven't had nobody else. I haven't really had nobody else. You like, it feels good, like you're building something. But after, like, if you don't stay with your high school sweetheart, like, that is the expectation now. That, you probably going to be with a woman who she don't got money, but she's expecting you got money. She done already had, she already been intimate with a lot of other dudes. Have you as a guy? Yes, of course. But that's a whole nother conversation for another day. I do not want to get into today. But it's like, all right, it kind of feels like it's lost its value, right? It kind of feels like getting into a relationship and meeting and greeting and it kind of lost its value, especially whether it's from intimacy all the way to traveling, and you're like, oh yeah, I want to go to Dubai one day, and she already been. All right, well, all right, let's move on to the next topic. All right, so commentary. We got another video for y'all. This right here is a video that saw of, what's her name? Jada Bell Podcast. Okay, there we go. So yeah, let's take a look at this. If it will load. I had to refresh it so it can start over.
And what they can put it in.
And they won't stay with them, but they will marry.
She just sat here and looked at all of us and said, oh, this is what men want.
I mean, ask them.
I seem to have a problem a little bit with men, like just comments that you're making, but yet you...
I have no problem with men. I'm straight. I love men.
I just heard like multiple just negative comments about men. Like
you
that
do
to
realize
put their...
that men are responsible for 90% of the violent crime.
But you're sleeping with many of them.
Yeah,
so
but
do you
we
like...
We still love men. Say, oh, I'm anti-man. I'm not.
I didn't say you were anti-man.
Men. A lot of them.
I didn't say you were anti-man.
I'm so tired of feminists being labeled as anti-man. We're not. In fact, I think feminists help men because we're trying to relieve a little bit of pressure off of them. Like,
but they're not asking for that.
anti-man.
They would rather you just respect them. They would just rather respect. They don't care about none of the things
Just because we don't
you have
worship
to
men
offer.
doesn't mean that we don't like them. I don't put them on a pedestal. I don't treat them like they're princes. I'm not like, oh, what great, amazing dudes. I like men just fine. I'm unfortunately straight too.
Question on this side, especially for those of you who love men, right?
Right.
What can you tell me some things you love about men?
I like men the same reasons I like women. These are all just human traits. You're funny, you're smart, you're good looking, you take care of me. I have girlfriends like that. I'm not,
But we're not talking about
friends or girls.
We're talking, because you said that a lot of people think feminists hate men. I want to know, without talking about women,
Okay.
only talking about men, what do you like about men?
I guess I'm trying to think about what makes men unique, though, because when I like a man, they're funny, they're smart, they're good looking. But I could describe a woman with these terms.
Okay, so you don't think that there are things about men that are unique necessarily?
Well, I mean, I'm born straight, so I can't say like I choose to be attracted to men. Like this is how I was born. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I think that I'm sexually attracted to men. I think they're pretty much the exact same as women. But if I were choosing like to hang out with someone one-on-one, I'd probably pick a woman because I'd probably be safer because they probably wouldn't be trying to, I don't know, have sex with me as an ulterior motive.
So it sounds like a lot of...
But I mean, I just don't see men as like a special category that they need to be worshipped in some separate way. Like, oh, men are really the reason why I'm here.
But don't you know that men allow you to have your rights? Because if it really came down to it, they can just overpower you and take all of your rights.
Actually, I have rights because of women. I have rights because women
You have
who
rights
came before
because
me.
of men.
The reason why I'm able to vote is not because of men, but because of hard-working women.
And who allowed it?
A few good
Who
men.
allowed these things to happen? Men, not a few. A lot of good men.
Men will put their in what they can put it in.
And they won't stay with them, but they will marry.
She just sat here and looked at all of us and said, oh, this is what men want.
I mean, ask them.
I seem to have a problem a little bit with men, like just comments that you're making, but...
So, yeah, that was a lot to unpack in that clip. So I guess I got a few things. So I want to read what so one of the girls one of the women that was on the panel had posted a little comment with it. So she had said, number one, this is the problem with female promiscuity and feminism. They disrespect men, they talk bad about them and how dangerous they are, yet they are sleeping around with them. A woman who is engaging in hookup culture tends to put herself in dangerous and vulnerable situations. So I'm not going to say that I fully agree, because there's some more points that she says. I'm not going to say that I fully agree with what the panelists had said, but I would say this. I think a lot of women will always hate men merely because no matter how much society evolves into equality, men will always be stronger than women. And I think women direct their emotions regarding that towards men. Because here's my thing. As a man who is trying to make sure that he does not fall into the red pill, into the misogynistic values, right? I am constantly trying to have conversations with women to understand them, not necessarily debate, right? I will stand my ground on certain things that I feel like is a fundamental human thing or a fundamental man thing, but there are a lot of things that, you know, men don't understand, so therefore they have to engage with the opposite sex to get an understanding. And there's a lot of men who are like me. So why do I have to be treated like those men? I understand when you're first getting to know me, you have fences up to protect yourself. You have these boundaries up to make sure that you are able to feel safe as a woman. But what I don't appreciate is once you have learned who and how I am, right? You should feel safe enough to understand that I won't do this and I won't do that to you. Now, I've understood that women oftentimes feel or studies have showed that oftentimes dangerous situations that happen to women are caused by men who are closest to them. And I can't really speak on those situations because I'm like, hey, I would not do something that they are reporting. I have made women around me uncomfortable. Yes, I have. And I've recognized that, and I've had to take the consequences, and I've had to take the consequences of those things. I've had to apologize and make things right. But there are things I'm like, I just would not do that you are trying to say that just because I'm a male, I would do. And I'm like, well, this comes down to a character thing, right? Where what is your character standard on what you would and would not do as a male? And you should, as a woman, should surround yourself with good, morally standing character men who they may make a comment that makes you feel uncomfortable. They may do a little something that make you feel uncomfortable, but you know that they would not do certain things such as grape you, even essay you, right? Another thing, she has said, the reason why the anti-feminists speak so highly of men is because we're married or receive protection, care, support by the men in our lives. This isn't pick-me behavior. This is what happens when you're healed, emotionally regulated, and you are surrounded by honorable men in your life. But this isn't by default. It's honoring ourselves as well. Interesting. So she's kind of saying what I'm saying, right? The fact that they have had men in their lives who protect, care for them, and support them, right? So this is where I start having the issue. If you are going to be a lesbian and only love women, that is your prerogative. You do your thing, girl. But if you are still a straight woman, maybe you're even bisexual, and you're still going to engage with men, you now have to heal. Because yes, a man raped you. Yes, a man hurt you. But that was a man, that was not me. So if I approach you and I want to take you on a date and I want to get to know you, I just want to be friends with you, how are we going to have a healthy relationship if you are not healed by the pain and the hurt that another man has caused you? And this is why it matters, where it's like, hey, you know what? I am going to go to therapy. I'm going to get the healing that I need to make sure that I don't go down that rabbit hole. And most people, they don't do that. They don't go down the rabbit hole of going to a therapist or finding the proper healing, maybe even cutting off some friends that are still bitter, right? Most people want to continuously stay in their hurt place. And it's not a woman thing. It's not a man thing. It's a human thing. Men are dealing with the same issues, just in a different way. Men have been hurt by women when they were young. And so instead of going to therapy to get the healing, to figure out whatever they need to deconstruct, they just develop a hatred towards women. When in reality, we should be taking people in as humans, not their gender. Obviously, we should walk with caution because men can harm you and other women can harm you, right? Some of the most hurtful things that women have experienced have been at the hands of other women, of other girls, right? Whether in grade school or even older. So it's about getting the proper healing that you need, so therefore you can properly engage with the ones that you want to be close with, which is men. Another point that she said, men fought for women to have the rights, period. to completely disregard that men allowed women their rights and allowed them to live as they please show that we're not oppressed, because in a split second we could have our rights taken. Which, now granted, to women's points, there have been some men who have taken some of that rights, right? Roe versus Wade. It's disheartening to hear women completely ignore the fact that good men fight to protect us and protect our rights. Here's what I can say. There were men who were in the Senate. There are men who were in these positions of power in the government who were voting against overturning the Roe v. Wade, right? So Roe v. Wade was basically allowing women to have a, I don't know if I can say that word. It allowed women to have, basically allowed women to have the right to do whatever they wanted to do for their own body and their own situation. But we overturned it, so now every state is able to now come up with their own time period in which a woman can do something with her body once she gets pregnant. And it's sad, it's disheartening, right? And but there are men who are fighting for that just as much as there are men who are fighting against it. So now you as a woman, and it's just a human thing, but you as a woman have a choice. Am I going to only focus on the bad men, or will I also take in the good men while fighting against the bad men? This is a fight that we should continue to fight, because I know some men, they say, oh, it's not a fight at all. And it's like, no, it's a fight that women and men should continue to fight for women to feel equal and for women to feel safe. But you do have to acknowledge that there are a lot of men who care, a lot of men who want to do the right thing. And I understand the rhetoric that a lot of women have said there's no such thing as good guys, because even the good guys can do you dirty too. A lot of times there's a difference, though, between a bad guy and a good guy who does bad things, right? At the foundation of the good guy who do bad things, he's a good guy who actually does care, but he got caught up in his own desires, his own issues, his own circumstances that is a little bit more complicated and nuanced than what you're presenting. And then you have that guy who's just a bad guy. He don't even care. So I think that this conversation oftentimes is just, it creates more conversation and creates more arguments and more debates and more division, when in reality it should be creating a bridge on what you think, on what they think, and how can we come together and meet in the middle. But let's move on to the trending topic. So I am in Atlanta. This is the Shabach show in the 404. And I'm not necessarily a Hawks fan. I'm just a Hawks fan because I live in the city, right? I'm a Falcons fan. Right? Yes, because I live in the city, but I'm an actual Falcons fan. Hawks is just by proximity. But the Hawks, where I'm gonna just let the video play.
Feel that this celebration isn't appropriate.
Okay, I thought they were going to set it up. So the Hawks were going to host a Magic City night. If you don't know Atlanta, there is a gentleman's club here in Atlanta, Georgia, that I ironically grew up around. It's the Magic City is right across the street from a Greyhound bus station here in Atlanta, and my parents would ride on Greyhound all the time. So I'm like, oh, what's that building over there? Oh, it's just a building. But it is a staple here in Atlanta. It's black owned, right? And people all over the nations come to Atlanta just to experience it. I'm not necessarily promoting strip clubs. I think it's a waste of money. But the culture is something that you cannot ignore, right? When we're talking about black culture, hip hop culture, and what Magic City has meant for Atlanta as a staple. So the Hawks were going to be playing the Magics. I think Kings or the Magics. No, I think it's the Magics. Something. One of the basketball teams. And Magic is the basketball team. They're not one of the popping basketball teams, should I say. So Magic, or should I say Atlanta, was going to partner with Magic City to sell some lemon pepper wings, which we're known for here in Atlanta. And they were going to sell some Magic City hoodies and t-shirts. That was it. No strippers, no, it was just going to be wings and merchandise. A lot of people had some pushback on it.
Is there anything you can say that would address that and assuage some of their fears about what this celebration is going to look like?
First off, Magic City's been a staple in Atlanta for 40 years now. It's bigger than Strip. It's more of a iconic place where anybody who's a CEO, an NBA player, a politician, actresses, actors, they all come, and they're all normal when they come here. You know, it makes everybody's ego, you know, everybody's the same when they come to Magic City, and it's more than Strip. It's more about the culture, the hip hop, the music, the food, the fun vibes. If I could describe it, I would call it like an adult version of Cirque du Soleil, or
I would say that's accurate, Juju.
Yeah. And as far as for the game, it's more of just a fun night where we celebrate good music, the Wings, and sell our merch, and T.I. performs. You know, we're not like bringing entertainers to the game. We're not having pressed out or, you know.
There's not going to be any nudity. There's not going to be.
There would be no nudity whatsoever at all. There would be no signs of nudity. There would be no nudity at all. It's strictly just Wings and music and people having a good time.
Yaya, I'm wondering what your reaction is to what Luke was saying, because what he's essentially saying is, yes, he disagrees with this celebration at the game, but it also sounds like he's saying that strip clubs in general don't celebrate women, at least not in the way he would like to. And your response to that is, it is certainly a familiar criticism of strip clubs.
I honestly feel like where he's coming from is a good space, and he's coming from his heart, and he feels like he's doing what's right. But as a woman that has worked for Magic City for years, they've taken me across the globe. They've helped support me throughout my entire mid-20s so far. And one thing that I have to say is, I don't feel used, I don't feel degraded, and I feel like this collaboration honestly is more a celebratory energy than anything that he's trying to make it seem like. So I honestly don't see how this could be a bad thing for the women, and I think that this type of advertisement is what's going to even help them get out of the club. But I feel like the only way for us to move on and to move in a different direction other than dancing is through feeling financially strong enough to leave. And I think that through collaborations with the NBA are perfect for that strategy.
It's just really a good time for everybody to celebrate the what we've done over the years with Magic City, as far as having success in the culture and in hip hop and in the food industry now. And it just really, we want to show that we're here to support women, empower them to go to school, to do more, and, you know, to live life too and have fun, but also, you know, just try to do better.
There are some people who feel that this celebration.
So, there is a nuance here when it comes to these conversations, when it comes to places like a strip club, a gentleman's club. What does this look like? What does this mean? What are we supposed to do? As someone who is not necessarily an advocate for strip clubs, I believe it's a waste of money, and I can agree to the point that it can be degrading to women. And here's why I say can. When we're having these conversations, we are oftentimes taking out the nuance that someone may be in a season that they don't see what you see, right? They may not see the wisdom. So how we approach these conversations has to be in a way that is not going to cause people to be defensive, right? Because what happened? You had, after it went viral and you got all this backlash from people, other players in the NBA that are not on the Hawks team, but other players from other teams who are coming out with all these statements and this, that, and the third. Here's one person, D1. He's a Christian hip hop artist, but he has done I would say he has been strategic with being able to put himself in the places and spaces around hip hop, secular hip hop people. But I've a lot of times had an issue with his approach, because of this type of nuance. But here's a video that he did.
Strip club themed night to an NBA game. The Atlanta Hawks are embarrassing themselves right now, and they're doing something so offensive to black people in the city of Atlanta because they feel like, man, they love strip clubs, they love Magic City Monday. We're going to bring it to an NBA game that's going to have kids there, that's going to have youth basketball teams there, and youth from different church groups at the game. And you're going to bring a strip club themed night to the NBA. Man, it took a white NBA player to come out and say, yo, this night need to be canceled. This seems like it's objectifying women. This man did a whole press release about the objectification and mistreatment of women in our society and asked for the night to be canceled. Where are the black players at who are offended by this, who want to speak up about it? Salute to homie, though. But then you got 10 times as many of our people saying stuff like this. This is the best team night in NBA history. Even some of our women, loud and proud, defending this type of night. But we got to wake up at some point and realize how crazy we out here looking. To the Atlanta Hawks, you still have time to fix this. This night needs to be canceled. This is offensive to black people. This is offensive to the city of Atlanta. Regardless of how many people get hyped behind this, people get hyped behind ignorance all day, every day, you heard me? So don't think because you're seeing some online like, oh, people excited. No, man, this is foolishness. And the Atlanta Hawks should know better, and you can do better. Make sure y'all call 1-866-7.
All right. So, on the comments, DC Young Fly actually weighed in, which DC Young Fly, he's here from Atlanta, from the West Side. So, there's a lot of people who had that type of concern. And then...
No, don't do it, because you know I'm emotional now.
Magic City, Monday, is not happening
what?
At the Atlanta Hawks home arena.
I already bought my ticket to the game.
Adam Silver said that they had some concerns with sponsors and other, affiliated investors with the league and said that, that's not a good look. But they make it seem like they're going to have the girls out there butt ball on the basketball court.
Yeah, they had a little pushback, that's all, especially when it comes to certain sponsors.
They ain't going to go scrub the ground in the arena, Ocho.
I think they know that. They just didn't want to be associated with what it is. They want to do their dirt behind closed doors. Hey, yeah, I'm still going to the game, though. I'm still going to the game with Joe.
I want to rock. Let me see you.
So essentially, the game is still going on, but the whole Magic City theme has been canceled. And here's my unfiltered perspective, right? No political correctness. I got 1 minute and 45 seconds left on this topic. Bottom line is, it should not have been canceled. If the NBA felt like it was an issue, it would have never gotten approved in the first place. Because like, this is one of the issues that I have with trying to involve morality, religion into corporate spaces. They never align. So when you had all these Christians who are saying, oh, we're voting for Trump is not a Christian. He's not a Christian man. I don't know if he's giving his life to Christ, but he does not operate as a Christian, right? But Christians and morally straight people like to align themselves with corporations when they're doing what they want to do, but then don't want to align with those corporations or want to tell those corporations that they shouldn't when it's something that they don't like. When the reality is, corporations don't care. They just care about money. Because if the NBA really cared about keeping people on the moral straight path, they wouldn't be partnering with all these gambling things. And they wouldn't be selling alcohol at the games, right? Like, we are cherry picking oftentimes. And here's the thing, maybe there should have been an official video to come out to be very clear that, hey, we're not going to have nude women at these games. It's literally just wings and hoodies and shirts, right? But for other people, I think like a D1, who they feel like we shouldn't be promoting it all together. This is where it gets complicated, because I'm like, as much as morally standing, I can agree with you on this topic, but are you also speaking out when it comes to other topics, such as gambling, such as alcohol at the games, such as cheerleaders, right? The lustfulness of a cheerleader and what they all have to go through and the behind the scenes of it. And this is one of the issues that we have when we're trying to be the morality police, because once you start with one, you got to do everything. I'm just saying, right? But it's about that time, y'all. We have come to a moment of inspiration. I was supposed to have this video already pulled up, but I'm pulling it up now. So bear with me. It's just going to take me 1 second. And I'm pulling it up. Hopefully I'm entertaining you to the point where you don't think about it. But here we go.
Knees are going to tell you need to work on your knees. It's not telling you you're old. But another thing, cats who turn 40 be like, I'm old, I'm getting 40. And I spoke to these like men recently at this health wellness thing. And I was like, dude said he's 42 or 43, he old now. And I was like, okay, so people who die at 40, didn't they die young? Even if you die at 60, you die young.
No, agree.
So why profess? Do what you want to with your own self. If you want to, like you say, if you want to play the spell on yourself that you 40 and old, go for it. You know, it's less traffic that way. Like get out the way anyway, type shit. But really, if anything comes from this, that people watch this, it would be wonderful for people to ideologically like shoot for that, shoot for control of that aspect for sure, Nick. Like, don't make yourself old at 30, 40, and 50. You're 50. I told a motherfucker, I said, man, listen, like, whatever you was doing to have fun before you did adult shit like drinking, maybe smoking weed, drinking, sex, and things like that, adult-oriented things, what did you do for fun? If you go back into that world, you pull the nostalgia back into yourself, and it's like youth preserving in a sense, right? Yeah, because you used to shoot hoops. Now you ain't shoot hoops in 15 years because you was old when you was 30. Yeah. Now you 40 plus, and now it's like atrophied on you and shit, like it's rust. Like, yeah, so keep yourself available to be young. Keep yourself available.
That's wisdom.
To be
Keep
young.
yourself available. That's the key. And that's the
knees are gonna tell you need.
That is so facts. And I'm not old. And then what is old? But no, seriously, I'm only 25. I'll be 26 in about April, May, about a month, 2 months and a half. I'll be 26, and I'm already being called unk. Right? They say once you're 25 and older, you are unk now. And I'm like, wait a minute. But then I actually do start to feel like unk, because I'm like, what? What's the trends? What they doing? I don't know. Goodness gracious, can't keep up with this stuff. But I have some friends who they actually be like, no, I'm old. And I'm like, no, you not, bro. You not old. And we got to stop thinking that we're old, because here's what happens. It's like what I was saying earlier. What happens is we are trying to put away the quote-unquote childish things when we're forgetting those childish things is what makes us who we are. Like, you have to, what they say, don't throw away the baby with the bathwater, right? There's certain childish things that you have to throw away, please, right? I don't know. I can't think of it right now, but there are other childish things such as watching cartoons. When was the last time that you watched your favorite cartoon from back when you was a kid, right? But you feel like you can't watch that now since you're an adult because people like how you look like a grown man, a grown woman watching some cartoons. But then all the stuff that you're watching is just debauchery and negativity. It's showing you how hard it is to live, you know, when in reality, you need to get back to that childish ways. Have fun. Go play basketball. Have a water balloon fight, right? And this is one of the reasons why I am doing what I'm doing, right? In the city of Atlanta, trying to create events to make organic, but more specifically, authentic community. Because a lot of us, we're just so busy trying to be, prestigious. I'm a millionaire. I'm rich. When in reality, we just need to get back to our childish ways. Have you ever, like your cousins that you used to grow up with, right? At a funeral, at a wedding or whatever, and you kicking it with your cousins, and you're like, man, I miss this. Have you ever been with your buds, your friends that you grew up with in school or whatever, and y'all kick it? Oftentimes, it's not the drinking. It's not the adult things, the adult conversations that y'all bond with the most. It's the childish things. And most people allow themselves to get old because they stop being a child, right? Look, I'm God's child. Okay? I don't care how old I get. I'm going to be 95, kicking it, right? Literally kicking the basketball. I mean, well, not the basketball. Kicking the soccer with my grandkids. Playing some. I want to be that 95. Everyone's like, you what, 95? I thought you were 75. I'm like, thank you. I look good, don't I? So please, do things to keep that inner child alive. Stop watching all of these crazy shows only. You need some fun, childish shows to watch. You need some fun, childish things to do, okay? Okay, cool. Maybe you need to have a little sip to make you get into that mode. But sip a little bit and then play some games. Have a good time. Be be the child yet again. So that is it for me, ladies and gentlemen. As we got 1 more minute, as we are wrapping up, coming to a close, I appreciate y'all. For those of y'all who stayed tuned in for the entire episode, for those of y'all who are going to watch, who are watching this on the restream, I appreciate y'all. I'm going to be doing this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4 p.m., 4 to 5 p.m. And yeah, have a good day. Be blessed. Continue to live that inner child, right? But the weather is getting nice, so I'm about to be a child outside, boy. The seasonal depression is about to go, and I'm about to go. I'm about to be outside. Like, you'll be like, is that Shabach? Hold on, what? He in the water park, bro? I'm doing everything this summer. But I'll see y'all later. Love y'all, much love. Continue to have conversations and talk about things in a positive and productive way. Peace.
Shabach Show.